Hey, we are back with Ask the Experts. Thank you all for holding on. We had some technical difficulties, but we're back. Today we have John Ross Sanders of Magnolia Federal Union, and we're going to talk about home mortgages and Magnolia Federal Credit Union just overall. So we're going to start back from the beginning. I know we were having some sound issues, and I want to make sure you all get all this great information that John is giving us. So, John, why should people come to Magnolia Federal Credit Union?
Hey, good morning, and again, thank you for having us. Magnolia Federal Credit Union has been here serving our members since 1935. We're community oriented, so we firmly believe that our success depends you.
Right. And you talked about how Magnolia has something for everyone. And I know you have a lot of different loans to offer. So, what are the different loans that you offer?
Well, we offer everything. We have auto loans. Every March we do our huge auto loan promotion, which is very popular with all of our members. We do recreational loans on things like RVs, motorcycles, boats, signature loans, lines of credit, uh, credit cards, which we're currently having a promo on those for 0% 12 months on balance transfers. We do home equity lines of credit, and then again, I do all of the mortgages, which we do everything from FHA, conventional Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae to VA. So we really truly do have something to fit everyone's needs.
Right. And know you have something that fits everyone's needs. So, just to plug, if you want to get more information, you can go to magfedcu.org or give them a call at 601 977 8300. So, really, we're going to focus on home mortgage loans for this conversation. So, what advice would you give to someone who is thinking about buying a home?
Well, the first thing I would say is, know what you can afford. So sit down and draw out your budget and, get a good estimate of how much payment you're going to be able to handle every month. And, not only handle, but handle comfortably. You never know what life's going to throw at you. So you definitely just want to make sure that it's something that you can handle and then maybe have a little extra in case anything comes up because we know uh, things always come up. Um, Save money for a down payment and closing costs. There are things out there, things you can do to get some of those fees down, but the majority get a mortgage. These are the fees that you're always going to have to look for. Especially that down payment and the closing costs, of course. So um, save money, start putting those aside, and be prepared for that. And then once you have a good idea of what you can afford, you start looking at a home within your price range. Whenever you're looking at a home, definitely do your research. I would say try to understand the neighborhood and the community that that home's within. Because whenever you make this purchase, for the majority of people, it's going to be, 10 living there. So really do your research and take your time. And then, of course, don't put the cart before the horse. I would encourage anybody who's serious about looking for a home or trying to buy a home, get pre-qualified for a mortgage early on. That way that you can make sure that you're ready and you've done everything that you need to, so that whenever you find a home, you can act fast, which is very important, especially in today's environment where homes are not sitting out there very long. So definitely put in that little bit of extra work on the front end so that you can act quickly whenever you find the house that fits everything you want.
Great. And so, what tips would you give to someone shopping for a mortgage? I know that those are a slew of tips, but are there any additional tips that you can give us?
Certainly. Um, You know, first off, I would say, always ask what is the actual cost of this loan. Um, are there points involved? Are you paying for the rate that you're being quoted? Because, a lot of lenders, and they can often be misleading just based on rate. So I would say shop APR, not just rate. The difference being that APR will include some of those upfront fees. They'll say, hey, you're getting 2.15, but there are going to be a lot more fees that you pay up front. So if you compare APR, it includes those fees. So it's kind of more of a true picture of, what you're actually paying to get that loan. So definitely compare, APR, not just rate. And then I would encourage everybody to go out, while you're looking for a mortgage, get multiple quotes from, different lenders. Don't be afraid to, go to 5 different people to get a quote to make sure that you're getting the best loan that fits exactly what you're trying to do. Um, there's a lot of people out here doing it. So I would encourage you, just to make sure that you shop around and find something that fits you. Um, and, lastly, I would say don't be afraid to reach out and just start the process. Even if you're not 100% sure you're ready or if you're going to qualify, somebody, talk to a professional who does this, and allow us where you are. Let's sit down, let's look at everything that you have going. And the worst case scenario is that we'll work together to create a plan so that whenever you leave, you'll leave with a personalized roadmap that'll help guide you on your journey to becoming a homeowner. So that's really, I know a lot of people have some hesitation. I'm not sure if I'm ready. I just don't know. Reach out, please. That's what I'm here for. First and foremost, I'm here to take care of anybody else. And, hopefully we can get you there. We'll get you in a home, so please don't hesitate. And just take that initial step to reach out, and you'll be glad you did, for sure.
Great. And before we take questions from the Facebook Live, just plugging you again in order to read, the number is 601-977-8300, as well as the website is magfedcu.org. So we are going to from Benjamin Brock Martin. He would like to know, do you have to be married to go in jointly for a mortgage loan?
No, you do not. You can, as long as both of you qualify, you can go in on a mortgage loan with, just about anybody. So you don't have to be married.
Great. Another question we have from Chris Carr. Would a lender allow me to roll my student loans?
None of the products that we carry would allow you to do so, and I'm not aware of any that would, unless you're talking about, if you already have a home and you have equity and you're refinancing and using some of that cash out to pay on your student loans. Um, but that's the only situation I can see where you could do that.
All right. Another question we have from Helen. I don't know if you cover this because you're a lender, but why she's asking why mortgage insurance might be so high.
Well, mortgage insurance is, it's there to offset, if you're not paying down as much money. So it's really to protect the lender from making a loan at a high loan to value ratio. So it's based on, the entire file, how much um, and other factors go into that.
All right, great. And then so Allison Vaughn wants to know, what are the qualifications for refinancing?
Oh, well, um, it depends on, your current loan, what kind of refinance you're you're trying to do. So there's a number of different products that I could go all day on the different types of refinancing. But specific questions or you'd like to find out more, I'd love to hear more about the individual circumstances, and I could probably get you a lot more info on that.
Okay, great. And I just want to give a shout out. Rhonda Hynum said Magnolia Federal is great. Plan on using them for everything. So that's a great review for Magnolia Federal Credit Union under the comments. Thanks, Rhonda. Another question, Lavatrice Franklin, are there any credit repair programs?
I don't know about credit repair programs, but I'm certainly glad to sit down and look at somebody's full credit profile and talk about what we can do to better improve it. We have everything. We have credit builder loans. I'll offer financial counseling, credit counseling to anybody that needs that.
Okay. Benjamin Brock Martin has another question. What are the cons to FHA loans?
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a con, but the mortgage insurance, the upfront mortgage insurance, and then the monthly insurance is, one of the things that to consider. I wouldn't call it a con because again, it has a lot of benefit outweigh that. For instance, the minimum amount down 3.5%. That's so every different loan product has its pros and cons, but FHA I think is a great loan product.
Okay, great. Another question from Lamone Avery. Are there any programs available to first-time home buyers?
There are programs out there. A quick Google search, Mississippi first-time home buyers. You can get a lot of information regarding what's out there, and they come and go very quickly. But with that being said, some of these programs, they might be a soft second. So I would say you still need to compare, based on costs and APR, with what you're really getting with all of those programs.
And then Pam Kelly would like to know, will getting multiple quotes affect credit score?
It shouldn't. Number one, you can always get a quote based on, your estimated score. But, you can run multiple inquiries. The credit scores have become a lot more advanced over the past few years. To where they can generally tell, if you do a mortgage inquiry today and then another one, still looking at it as one time where you were shopping, so it doesn't affect you. I think the way that generally people think that it does, where you can't go shop around, so it should not hurt you.
All right, and Jay Kelly would like to know, how long do you have to wait when you file bankruptcy for a home loan?
Standard is 2 years.
2 years. Okay, and then we have another question regarding credit. Sasha Nicole Rouser. If the credit is 600, is it possible to get approved for a mortgage loan?
Generally, you'll see the guidelines go from 620 to 640, but that's not to say that somewhere wouldn't be able to help you. But of course, the better you can get your score before applying, the more favorable that's going to be. So I would recommend trying to get that rate up a little bit, because it'll definitely be to your benefit. And that can be done quickly. That's the roadmap that I spoke about earlier. I see it all the time. We see that, and the score is just not quite where it would be ideally. And so let's get there. And I would love to sit with anybody who wants to see what we can do to get you there. And it can be done a lot more quickly than I think people usually think. So.
Great. Then I have another question for Benjamin Brock Martin. Don't worry about asking the questions. He's apologizing because he has so many questions, but that's what we're here
It's
for,
fine.
right?
Yeah.
So, what all debt do you guys consider factor in when considering DTI, debt to income ratio?
Well, anything that's on your student loans. I'm sorry, anything that's on your credit bureau, including student loans. Um, depending on the loan type, you can usually look for about 1% of your student loans. But, your car loan, um, anything and everything that, is on your credit bureau, those are the liabilities that we're looking at whenever we're factoring debt to income ratio.
Great. And Megan Castillo Scott would like to know, uh, can I buy a house in a different state? I guess if they're using your mortgage lender program, will you all be able to facilitate that in a different state?
Yes, we are. Luckily, and this is one of the reasons that we do this. We partner with a firm called Lender Select, and you know they help us, and they'll actually do a lot of the servicing and things for us. And what that does is allow us, to offer mortgage loans pretty much anywhere in the United States. Um, so
Great. And I think that's it for right now. If we have any more questions, once again, we are with John Rossia Federal Credit Union. You can go to their website at magfedcu.org. The number is 601 977 8300. I think, let's see, I think I'm getting more questions. No problem, Benjamin. Um, and do you all have any programs to help boost credit scores? From Arlene
we do.
Nichols.
Of course, there's the credit counseling that we can provide, and we have credit builder loans. Um, so and that can be done at any of our branches. The credit builder, I think, is a great place to start, and it'll help build the relationship with us. So yeah.
Great. And I have a question. In one of our Ask the Experts, we talked to a realtor, and he was talking about because of the pandemic that interest rates have gone down a lot. Is that true? Is that what you're seeing? What are interest rates looking like nowadays?
Well, here lately, over the past year, just the rates across the board have been, historically low. Even when I bought my house last year, I was actually talking to somebody the other day, and what I got back then was a great rate, and they're even lower now by probably at least a point. Um, so even if they were to go back up, which right now, anytime you have a new administration coming on, we're watching rates every day. But for right now, they're staying pretty steady and very low. Um, so it's a great rate environment for anybody looking to do.
Great. And then another question, what is all needed for the pre-approval process?
Uh, well, our pre-approval process, we're trying to make it as easy as possible. So it's just an online application, and once you do that, I reach out to every single person who does an application individually, and we'll have a brief conversation to see exactly what you're trying to do, so that I can see which direction we need to take it, and then as long as you feel comfortable, and we both feel like we're in a good spot, so let's say, hey, take it to the next step. At that point, I will, pull credit, look at some debt ratios and things, and then, if we can get all of that to work out, we can work towards getting that pre-qualification.
Great. Okay. And we have another question from Benjamin. I'm loving all the questions, Benjamin. Okay. So, what is the first step to purchasing a house? Is it realtor first and then talking to a mortgage lender, or mortgage lender first and then realtor?
I would start with a lender, um, because if you come to me for a pre-qualification, I'll be able to, tell you exactly what you need to do. There's no real point going to a realtor, before you can find out whether or not you can get pre-qualified. And a lot of the times, whenever you go to a realtor, depending on the realtor, and I know they're really busy right now, they're going to want you to come with a pre-qualification letter. So I would say definitely start with a lender.
Great. Uh, and I have another question from Connie Gilmore Jones. Do you just apply for the credit building loan online, or should she come into the branch?
Um, Loan, I think, yes, you can apply for that online, and I think all of our branch managers can handle those also. But all of our loan products can be handled online, just to make it easier for everybody.
Great. And we have another great review from Lamone Avery. Don Jackson is currently his loan officer with Magnolia, and he's awesome, very personable, and knowledgeable. So that's great. We see just in the comments, not only questions, but comments saying Magnolia Federal Credit Union is. Make sure you all visit them at magfedcu.org, or give them a call at 601-977-8300. I think that wraps up all of our questions for our first Ask the Experts. Make sure you visit John Ross Sanders. He is the mortgage lending manager at Magnolia Federal Credit Union. And this has been Martina Barksdale with Ask the Experts on WLBT's Facebook Live. And it's time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.